going to discuss the cottagecore fashion aesthetic that brings people back to a simpler time, Princess Beatrice's wedding gown on loan from the Queen, and Vogue says all you need is a day dress. Welcome to 3 articles on the subject of dress. Hi everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. In this series, I like to choose articles on the subject of fashion and how we style ourselves and our homes and bring them to you here so we can discuss them. Today's 3 articles on dress is sponsored by Native. Native is a natural deodorant brand. I know so many of you use them. They are one of the big players in the natural deodorant industry, and I've been using natural deodorant for at least 15 years. I will never go back. I did not like using aluminum in the old just regular deodorants I used to use, and I just had major issues with my body rejecting them. So I've been using natural deodorant for the longest time. Native is an excellent brand. What I like about them the most is that they have a wide variety of scents that you can choose from, and you know I'm a scent person. So I chose the lavender and rose, the coconut and vanilla, and the sweet peach and nectar. The scents have longevity even after exercise or a full day. It's been really hot here in Southern California. They work really well. The deodorants are not sticky and they dry quickly. They don't leave a white film on me. As far as ingredients goes, they're aluminum free and they're paraben and sulfate free. They are vegan and they are cruelty free. So you can save 33% on your Native deodorant pack plus free shipping when you use my link below as well as my code. So thank you so much to Native for sponsoring today's video. Okay, let's get into the articles. So the first article I want to discuss with you is from today, and it says the cottagecore fashion aesthetic brings back a simpler time. Now, if you recall my last 3 articles on dress video, we talked about the Grandmillennial style. That was a really popular video, and so many of you could relate to that video. I had a lot of people in the comment section tell me that Grandmillennial is also an offshoot of cottagecore, so let's figure out what cottagecore is. It says cottagecore is inspired by simpler and more tranquil time. Perhaps that's why it's hugely popular on social media right now, by Julie Pennell. The world feels a bit chaotic right now, which could be why many are using fashion to beckon a more tranquil time. Prairie dresses, vintage outfits, straw hats, they're all part of the aesthetic associated with cottagecore, a movement that serves as a refuge from the complexities of modern living and a nostalgia for simpler times, according to Amelia Ansick, accessories editor for Fashion Snoops. What is cottagecore? Sustainability and a do-it-yourself ethos are key when it comes to clothing and accessories for this movement, Ansick explained. A strong aesthetic influence comes from the popular prairie revival. Think 1970s Laura Ashley or Gun Sachs, along with domestic pastimes like patchwork, quilting, knitting, and needlepoint. Ansick said the movement has stemmed from trends like grandmacore, aka Grandmillennial style, farmcore, and fairycore. In early 2020, it gained momentum on social media platforms, especially TikTok. During the worldwide pandemic and long periods of stay-at-home orders, the movement accelerated rapidly as people looked for an escape from our dark reality, she said. Cottagecore unintentionally represents the ideal quarantine life, where isolation in nature is strived for, and everything we need can be produced at home and by our own hands. What are cottagecore clothes? If you scroll through Instagram's #cottagecore, you'll find romantic and whimsical pictures featuring flowy dresses, floral patterns, flower crowns, and vintage-style hats. Courtney Fox, 27, who runs the popular cottagecore Instagram account, The Fox and the Ivy, said her clothing inspiration comes from her childhood. I grew up in rolling farmland in rural Pennsylvania, not too far from Lancaster County, which has a large population of Amish, so this landscape and way of living helped to inspire me, she said, adding that she also gets fashion ideas from literature like Anne of Green Gables, Little Women, and The Secret Garden. 3 of my favorite books. Where to buy cottagecore clothes? Since one of the pillars of cottagecore is eco-living and sustainability, it's no surprise many of the clothes are found in thrift stores. For me, cottagecore has meant trying to reduce my waste production and purchase things more sustainably, including my clothing, said Fox. There was a time when I was buying fast fashion, but I realized it didn't really align with my values. Christina Lowen, 27, of Lake, British Columbia, who has more than 74,000 followers on her Cottagecore Instagram account, said she looks for vintage items on Depop and Poshmark. Some of her favorite brands include Faithful the Brand, Christy Dawn, Auguste the Label, and Peplum Co. When picking out clothes, I look for romantic and timeless pieces that bring a sense of nostalgia, she said. Anne of Green Gables has always been my muse. For her young daughters, who also make appearances in her photos, it's all about the handmade pieces. Etsy is a beautiful selection of handmade items as well as local farmers markets, she said. I also love Nest and Nurture, Little Lemons, and Nooks design for them. Who is Cottagecore for? Despite pulling a lot of inspiration from history and generations past, this movement still has a strong, youthful spin to it, NSYNC said. Since this trend is most popular on apps like TikTok and Instagram, Gen Z and younger millennials are the main demographic here. Even if you don't live the kind of fairy tale life associated with cottagecore, you can still enjoy its benefits thanks to the social media communities surrounding it. I think it gives people a little bit of escapism from their own world and busy life, said Carrie Ann Pink, 34, of Northamptonshire, England. The popular cottagecore Instagrammer who runs Ginger Lily Tea said she loves looking at other accounts for inspiration and to feel calm. Being interested in flowers, baking, and gardening, and being the type of person who loves sitting with their books and paints in the forest and flowers and meadows, I don't really meet many people who understand me, she said. So it is so lovely to have all these people around the world who are similar. It makes me embrace every part of myself even more. So what do you think of the cottagecore aesthetic? I really love it. It's very Madame Bohemian. I think that it goes a bit farther than the Grandmillennial style, which could be a bit preppier, maybe a bit more traditional. This seems a bit more perhaps Western prairie bohemian, and that's what I'm seeing here from all of the images that I've been showing you. I think it's a beautiful look, a beautiful aesthetic to strive for, and I love that people are embracing the fact that they are interested in flowers and baking and gardening and all of these things that really are the comforts of home life that we can all enjoy. So let me know what you think of the cottagecore aesthetic down below. Okay, next, let's talk about Princess Beatrice's wedding gown. So I have an article here from Town and Country magazine, and it reads, Princess Beatrice married her fiancé, Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, in an intimate ceremony on Friday in Windsor, but royal watchers had to wait a full day to get a peek at the princess's much-anticipated wedding gown. It was well worth the wait. In 2 portraits released by Buckingham Palace, Beatrice's stunning dress was on full display and absolutely lived up to fans' high expectations. Here are all the details on the gown. Who designed the dress? In a break from past royal brides, rather than enlisting a courtier to craft a custom garment, Beatrice went vintage. She wore a gown by Norman Hartnell on loan from the Queen, made from peau de soie taffeta and organza, trimmed with Duchess satin and encrusted with diamante. Hartnell was a sought-after designer in the 20th century and a go-to for the Windsors. He was behind both Queen Elizabeth's wedding dress and coronation gown, in addition to Princess Margaret's wedding look and other important royal garments. This is very much in contrast with the fashions worn at recent royal weddings, all of which were custom. Kate wore Alexander McQueen, Meghan went with Givenchy's Claire Waite Keller, and Princess Eugenie donned Peter Pilotto and Christopher DeVos. What does it take to create a royal wedding dress? Royals don't pick their gowns off the rack. Usually the designer and bride will work together for months, meeting at fitting after fitting until the dress is just right. Eugenie's dress, for example, certainly took time. During several fittings, the dress was developed layer by layer, constructing it from the corset and the complex underskirt to the fitted bodice and full pleated skirt, the royal family revealed on her wedding day. As Beatrice's dress was vintage, she didn't follow that exact process, but the gown certainly still required fittings. The Queen's trusted dressmakers Angela Kelly and Stuart Parvin remodeled and fitted the Hartnell design to flatter the princess. So there you have it. I find it curious that the article doesn't talk about the clear difference that I see, which is the sleeves that were added on to the dress. So when the Queen is wearing it, it's just the straps, and she has added these pretty puff sleeves. I think it's a very beautiful look, very understated, and she looks very pretty as a princess bride. So let us know what you thought of Princess Beatrice's wedding dress down below. And finally, this article was sent to me by Beth, and it's from Vogue. It says, instead of going out clothes, all you need is a day dress by Rachel Besser. Although cities are starting to reopen, most nightlife is still on hiatus in the wake of coronavirus. For now, cramming into concert venues and getting decked out for fancy events with hundreds of other people are things of the past. This summer, going out clothes like slinky dresses and corset tops are being replaced by the best casual dresses. Comfortable day dresses, specifically, are ideal for strolls in the park, Zoom parties, socially distanced gatherings with friends, or even just days spent working from home. After months of growing accustomed to casual outfits like sweatsuits, a good day dress is both polished and comfortable. Dresses with longer hemlines and looser silhouettes reign supreme in summer 2020, and in fabrics like cotton and linen, they make those hot summer days more bearable. From flowy floral numbers and prairie versions, that is a nod to Cottagecore, here are the 19 best casual dresses to stock up on this summer. Okay, so we're not going to look at all 19 dresses, but let's have a look at many of them. This first one is a Rebecca Taylor dress, and how much does this look like my budget find from Target? This looks so similar to it, and it's beautiful. I love that white dress. I didn't cut off the sleeves, by the way, so I still have the sleeves. And this Rebecca Taylor dress is even more stunning. Okay, the next one is the Ganni checkered seersucker midi dress, and this is really beautiful. This reminds me of a dress that my friend Nikki from Inspired by Nikki has from Gal Meets Glam, the pattern anyway. Oh, I love this dress. It seems like this would be so freeing to wear, just very comfortable. Let's have a look at Lee Matthews' Zoe paneled floral print silk dress. Well, this one is a bit too avant-garde for my taste. I think that you have to be, I don't know, a certain type of fashionista to wear this dress. I think that the contrasting floral prints are very bold, so I don't know if I would ever put that in my 10-item wardrobe, just because it's such a bold choice. Here we have another white dress by Tova Ceres, and it's a white organic cotton midi dress. I love them. Honestly, I could go all Emily Dickinson and just wear white dresses for the rest of my life. I might just do that one day. Next we have La Lena Piper dress. Very beautiful. This is so pretty. I just love how flowy and comfortable and free these dresses look. Okay, the next one is La Sireneuse Positano Bella Valley Myers print cotton voile maxi dress. This is really pretty. The longer sleeves might not be comfortable if you're in a really hot climate, but just imagine that. And now this looks like the April Cornell dress that Rosenda from Little Pink Casa has. I'm seeing a lot of variations on a theme here. This one is Lisa Marie Fernandez Carolyn Organic Linen Blend Gauze Maxi Dress. This is very pretty as well. Very similar sleeves, although longer to my white dress. This would be too hot for me to wear in the summer, but if you live in a colder climate, I could see that. Here we have the C. Marlene Shirred Yoke Cotton Blend Poplin dress. This is a pretty dress, very cottagecore, I would say. Amelia Wickstead Floral Print Dotted Swiss Cotton Seersucker Midi Dress. This is very pretty. This reminds me of Anna Wintour. It's kind of like a power dress, I would say. The next one, Stod Demi Dress. This one does not appeal to me so much. Maybe it's the color or the shape, but there you go. And let's look at this one, the last one here that we're going to look at from Doen, which is a very popular brand among a lot of you. Malta Ruffled Floral Print Cotton Corduroy Midi Dress. So this is pretty. I don't know, it might be too Little House on the Prairie for me, which I can't believe I would even say something like that, but it's pretty. I do like it. I don't know, I'd have to see it on. So what do you think of those dresses? Which one was your favorite? I will leave the article link down below so you can see all 19 of them. And there you have it. I think we got some interesting information from these articles. Basically, my point with this entire series is to help you narrow down your true style. And if your true style happens to be one of these aesthetics that I'm talking about, to fully embrace it and realize that there is a community behind you. Thank you so much for joining me for this 3 articles on dress, and thank you to Native for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to check out my link below and my code so you could get 33% off your Native box. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time on The Daily Connoisseur. Bye everyone!